First and goal from the 4. His running back is Charbonnet. I formation behind him. Takes the snap. Takes the handoff to Charbonnet. And looking at the end zone. Firing to the back of the end zone. Caught for the touchdown. Jackson Smith in Jigba. And we've got a 1-point game with 3:13 to go in overtime. What do the Seahawks do here? Are they going for 2?
They're going for 2,
They're going for it. They're going for the win here in overtime. Darnold standing on the left hash. Takes the shotgun snap. 3-step drop. Looking, firing over the middle. And it's caught by his tight end, Eric Saubert. The guy that no one expected. And the Seahawks walk it off and soar to the top of the NFC West with a 38-37 overtime win tonight here in Seattle.
Kate Scott and Ryan Harris on the call for Westwood One. And last night was one of those nights. They are few, and they are somewhat far between. But last night was one of those nights where we are reminded in 24-point font, bold, italic, all caps, this is why we love football. It's for moments like this. It's for nights like that. It's for games where you have no rooting interest, but you still can't sleep when the game's over. You still have adrenaline coursing through your veins in the closing moments. You're excited. You jump out of your seat when key moments happen like that one. That was a classic last night. It was the best game we've seen so far this year. It may be the best game we see all year long. Here's hoping they can outdo it. But after a day that was dominated by the shenanigans of a couple of live streaming punks who set up Puka Nacua, that was the capper we needed. That was the game we required. That was the moment that I think gives any football fan, except Rams fans, a lift heading into this final push to Christmas. And good morning.
And good morning to you, Mike Florio. And I think even Rams fans could look at that last night and say, that's why we love football. And the only edit I would make to that, you said 24-point font. I'm going to put it at 48 or even 72. I mean, that was big and bold. That was one of those games, Mike, that generally we look forward to. Thursday night football, you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you get these short week classics. Sometimes one team's just not ready to play. Injuries come into it, so you just don't really get the game that you expect. But this is exactly what you hoped it would be. And sometimes these things just don't work out. You look forward to Rams and Seahawks. Have been looking forward to it for 2 weeks. You knew it was coming down the schedule. And you thought, I mean, it really should be a classic, but it probably won't be. Who knows? Will it be like the game, the first game they played? Will it be a 2-point game and come down to the wire? It over-delivered. It exceeded my expectations. I said last night on the group chat, it's my favorite game of the year. And after having a couple of hours of sleep to think about it, I haven't changed my mind. Favorite game of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And it may be one, and I rarely do this with a non-Vikings game, it may be one that I call up and watch again. At least from the moment that many were tempted to shut it down. And I've heard from some who did. 30-14, fourth quarter, Sam Darnold turns the chariot back into a pumpkin with the interception at the goal line, and it's over. Night. Down in the barn with my son and a couple of his friends came over, and it's kind of nice to get to the point where your son's an adult, so his friends are adults, so it's just 4 dudes hanging out, even though they ain't my friends. I don't have any friends. As many are saying, I don't have any friends. But we had a great time, and I'm thinking they're going to want to leave. Like, I kind of need to watch the end of the game. It's raining outside. They're going to want to leave. They're going to want to ride up because we got one of those four-wheeler things, not like a, like it's big enough for people to sit in it. We're not like going, 4 deep on a motorcycle. But, yeah, they're going to want to ride up, and I really want to watch the rest of the game. I have to watch the rest of the game. Not that I want to at this point. And then, boom, it just turned like that. It was amazing. The Rashid Shaheed punt return changed everything, the 2-point conversion, and then it just went from there. We're going to break it all down. This is a day that we need a bigger show because there's so much we could talk about coming out of last night's game. The show, by the way, is PFT Live. Hello to our audience on NBCSN, YouTube, not YouTube, the clips on YouTube, Peacock. Peacock is the platform, not YouTube. Peacock. Podcast wherever you get your podcast, Sky Sports NFL. They'll still be excited in the UK and Ireland when they see this 5, 6, 7 hours from now, as now the lame kids say. 6, 7 is now only for the lame, no longer cool. Although I don't know. The fact that I'm even saying it, once I became aware of it, that's when it became lame. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.